Disclaimer: the insights and opinions shared on this show are for educational and entertainment purposes only. Before making any financial decisions, we recommend consulting with a qualified professional to better understand your unique financial situation. Welcome to the Investors Playbook Show, where our mission is clear: empowerment through financial education. We firmly believe that financial freedom isn't a privilege, it's a right that's available to everybody. Each week, we dive deep into the world of finances, breaking down complex topics and making them accessible and actionable for everyone. As we grow this community, we invite you to join us on this journey. Why tune in? Because together, we're not just learning about wealth, we're building a movement, reshaping futures, and proving that with the right knowledge, financial success is within everyone's reach. It's time to get off the sidelines. Let's go.
Episode 17. I'm Cornell Rowan.
And I am Deshawn Edwards. Cornell, I see you sporting the Santa Claus hat today, man. Christmas is around the corner, December 24th. This is going to be one of our, it's not going to be our last episode of the year.
We
Close
got
to it,
more.
but
Got one more.
we got
Last
one
one's
more
on the first.
on the 31st. That's wild, man. Yo, it's been a very productive and successful year. I think we should make episode 31. I don't know. Maybe we should talk about all the accomplishments of Investors Playbook. We'll see. I'm throwing my idea out there. We'll see what happens, though.
That's a good idea, man. I like stuff like that. And also like just a vision of where we want to go and where we want to be by 2025.
Exactly. Yeah, we can definitely talk about that for sure. But this episode, we are going to be, and I don't know if you guys have been watching the news, have been seeing kind of a lot of what's happening with these rate hikes or these rate cuts. My bad. These rate cuts that are expected in 2024. But yeah, that is the next big topic. So um, first, let's even talk about what that is or what that means, right? What is a federal rate cut? What is how does that kind of play into us as just regular investors or just us as consumers or regular people? What does that mean for us? Or let's talk about that a little bit.
So first, I think the best thing to do is define what a federal rate is. So
Right.
basically, yeah. So basically, that's the interest rate that the U.S. banks pay one another to borrow and loan out money, right?
Mhm.
So depending on what they have to pay, that expense is passed down to us. So if they have a lower rate, of course, we pay lower rates on our mortgages, our car notes, and our credit cards, things of that nature. But if it's higher, of course, we're paying more on those. But while rates are higher, of course, you have those negative things where you're paying more on your mortgage, paying more on your car note, and everything. But this is when people typically save more because also those interest rates go up as well. Because I
Mhm.
know today I'm seeing savings accounts where you can make like 4%, which is
Mhm.
pretty high. It's pretty
Right.
high.
And just what? Let's just take it back. Like when we first started investing in our high yield savings account, it was roughly at 3%, 2%, and then it started to go down because interest rates were going down. This was like 2020, 21, when interest rates were as low as almost like 2%. We were confused because we were seeing our savings. We kept getting those emails that said your savings account interest rate went from 3.3 to 3.0, 3.0 to 2.7, and we were confused. But that it's all synonymous, right? Like the core interest rate affects the savings account interest rate, affects the credit card interest rate, mortgage interest rate, loan interest rate. So yeah, there are positives and negatives to it, depending on your position and where you are, as far as when you're planning on purchasing and all those things. So
And as Deshaun said, over the past few years, in the past, interest rates have been rising,
yeah,
right?
definitely.
So yeah, and really fast. I want to say they were doing maybe 25 basis points probably every quarter, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty yeah, it was affecting us a lot.
One thing that I do want to mention, or that I want people to understand, is the reason why interest rates were going up so fast. What was it that the Fed was trying to accomplish by increasing interest rates during that time? Because we know that with interest rates, well, with interest rates being the amount of money that banks pay to borrow from each other, what would be the reason why interest rates shot up? You know what I mean?
To slow down the economy.
Yeah.
They're trying to decrease that spending.
Mm,
Right.
yeah.
So like as interest rates go up, people have less money and people are saving more because living is more expensive
Yeah.
and borrowing money is more expensive.
Right. Right. So now they notice, well, not they notice, but they're trying to decrease inflation. And in that task, they are decreasing interest rates to encourage spending, right? They want people to borrow money. They want people to go and purchase homes. So they're cutting interest rates, allowing it to be less expensive to do things like borrow money for people like me and you, right? Like we can go get a home loan, which earlier this year or like late last year, 8%. Now it's getting to around 6.5%, which is huge, right? So yeah, right now, like you said, Cornell, the decrease in or the Fed rate cuts, what they're trying to do is encourage spending. They want people to borrow more money. They want people to spend more money, which in essence is according to according to news and news outlets, that's a good sign, right? It means that the economy is growing. They're expecting people to spend more. They're expecting new projects to happen and growth to happen. So that's why a federal rate cut, in essence, means that the economy is in a growing state, right? According to news outlets. I'll keep saying that. So
Man, I feel like we are in a weird space right now, man. And the
yeah,
reason why I say that is because the increase of interest rates are supposed to like make the stock market cool down. You see what I'm saying? But in these times with high interest rates, we're at all-time highs in tech at
yeah,
least. You see what I'm
yeah.
saying? I've been making money since. I mean, yeah, we had a little drop last year. Well, not a little drop, but we had pretty much a crash last year. But look at us now, and rates are
Hmm.
sky high. You see what I'm saying? So, what's going to happen with the stock market when they start cutting these rates and businesses have more money to play with because they're borrowing money at a lower rate.
Yeah.
So
Well,
now
I will
they're
say
able to
this.
thrive.
So, the stock market normally, well, let's just say the SPY as an example, normally has a what, 8 to 10% increase year over year, like average. That's
Yep.
like normal. So, just like the housing market, as it continues to grow, regardless of rate cuts or rate hikes, you're going to see that small increase ultimately over the span of like 10 years. But when you really think about it, when rates were like cut early 2020 is when we saw the market take those huge dips. I know we had like 2020 dip and then it came back, but as rates continued to go down, as they stayed down, that's when the market people were worrying that the market was crashing and everything was going. But when you started to see the rates, steadily decline, is when the market started to increase. And now that rates are continuing to decline, like you said, I think stocks are just going to continue to go up. I just think maybe when we notice it or when we see it, it's already happened, right? Rates were already starting to go down like mid this year or like earlier this year. And stocks have been going up since then. They've just been slowly and steadily increasing. And it's
When
almost,
when you say already going down, do you mean already announcing that they're about to go down? Because we're talking about in 2024, right?
well, yeah, 2024 is when it's going to be cut. But if you're looking at interest rates on normal things like loans and homes and cars, we're starting to see a slight decrease already, even before as the announcement was made, even before
M-
the announcement was made.
My bad. I'm just trying to get clarification. Are you talking about the price of homes, or are you talking about interest rates on home loans?
Interest rates on home loans.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Interest rates on home loans. But yeah, I think that is they play on each other as interest rates go down. Like you said, it's supposed to be an increase in the stock market. But what you're saying is even though interest rates have been sky high, the stock market has also been going sky high.
right?
That's the confusing part. Yeah.
And it hasn't
But
really stopped. Over the past 5 years, the S&P, is up 91%. This is almost 20% a year. You get what I'm saying? I know that we
yeah,
said that over 10 years, there's an average of what, a 8 to 10% increase. We're at 91% over 5 years, bro. You
yeah,
see what I'm
that's wild.
saying?
No, I feel you. I feel you. Yeah, I don't know. The stock market is going to be very interesting next year because a lot of times people also equate that to the stock market is just too high and it needs to cool down. And will the rate cuts affect the stock market? Or will the stock market kind of be in its own thing? Well, I mean, we'll just have to see next year. But according to history, usually when rates are cut, the stock market grows because investors are more confident. They have more money that they can use to borrow that or they have more money that they can borrow that they can use to purchase stocks. And they know that businesses can borrow more money, so businesses can thrive, allowing prices of stocks to kind of go up. So people become more confident in the stock market as rates get cut. But we'll see.
Right. And
2024 is
there's
going to be an exciting year. Go ahead, my bad.
yeah, and there's less of a incentive to save. You see what I'm saying? So
Yes, yes,
as
yes.
as you said, because like if rates are going down, your savings interest rate is going down. So
Yeah.
I
I'm
feel
making less money at that point. Yeah.
right. So I'm going to look for other opportunities for my money because why would I accept a 2% increase in my money yearly when the stock market is averaging 8 to 10%?
Right. Right.
I think that's a big thing to mention also.
Mhm.
Yeah. But another reason why I feel like we're in a weird space is because I know that you said that there's been a decrease in home value, right?
Mhm.
Over the past how long? Like would you say like a year or
Maybe like a year and a half, year, maybe something like that. But it depends, of course. It depends on where you are, right? Some home values are just not going to decrease, but other home values, it depends on your location, of course. But yeah, I say for like a year. Um,
Y- yeah.
so-
But man, I feel like it's still sky high. So I'm kind of scared to see what's going to happen when these rate cuts start to happen. You see what I'm saying? Because when interest rates start to lower, demand is going to go up with homes because it's like, hey, now I can afford more homes because I'm paying less in interest.
exactly.
So as that happens, when demand goes up, I expect price to go up.
Yeah, I think your people who own homes now are in a very good. If they're looking to, well, it doesn't even matter. Even if they're looking to sell their home, or if they're just hoping to get some more value in their home, they're in a good position because like what happened in the COVID times, like 2020, 2021, there were crazy bidding wars. I remember looking for a home to purchase around that time, and I'm seeing homes that are on the market for 500,000 get sold for 650,000 because people are bidding and they want it, and because the demand is so high, the buyer is at the throne. They're pretty much saying, "Well, this person's going to give me 550. What are you going to do?" Well, I'll give you 575. All right. Well, he's going to give me 575. What are you going to do? Because interest rates are 3%,
You know,
2.5. Go ahead.
you know what's crazy? I
Hmm.
was actually in the market for, I don't know if you remember, I was in the market for buying another home at that time also. But
I
because
do.
people were doing, yeah, because people were doing that, I was just like, man, it can't be a good time to buy. Like everybody jumping 20% over asking price, which I felt at the time was insane. But now
Yeah.
look at the market now. I'm like, dang, I wish I had
You
they
feel
must have
me?
had some insight or something because that was actually a good move for them. And this was before interest rates even started jumping up.
Yeah. Well before. Yeah. Plenty of people who purchased, and I mean, they sitting on a nice chunk of change if they
Yeah.
purchase anything between 2020 and like early mid 2022 because the prices of homes increased so fast during
Yeah.
that time. It was crazy.
It
So,
says on average, like over the past 5 years,
hmm
there was a 84% increase in homes. So that's equity.
Right.
You almost times two
Right.
what you bought into. So whatever you bought,
Right.
it's almost double. 84% is a lot.
Yes. That's wild. And with that, that's just you using more. That's more opportunity for you to go do whatever you want, right? Equity can be a HELOC. Equity can be, I mean, it's if you want to sell your home, you can sell it at a higher value. Like it's so much you can do once you're given that given access to that money. And that was just simply making a move at the right time. Not that timing the market is what we encourage, but people saw opportunity at that time and they jumped on it.
When you see
So
opportunity, jump on it. And
yeah,
just to just to make sure that everybody knows what we're talking about. So equity is basically the difference between what you owe on a home and how much the home is actually worth. Okay, so if you buy a
mhm,
home for, let's just to make it easy, 100,000, right? And the value of your home goes up to 200,000. You have $100,000 worth of equity. So basically, this is money that you can use on whatever. You can tap into this equity to actually pay for certain things or to invest in other things. I know
right,
me myself, I took out a HELOC. A HELOC, as Deshawn mentioned earlier, uh, basically you're putting a lien on your home and you're able to use it. It's a line of credit. You can use this money for anything. You can take it out as cash and you pay a low interest rate on it. So of course mine is variable. So as this is going on with the market, with the interest rates, it's affecting my interest rate on my HELOC. But what I'm using my HELOC for, I actually use in the stock market, which was a great move when I did it. I'm not saying that it's always going to be a great move, but when I did
mhm,
it, I did it probably at the beginning of this year, and now uh, the stocks that I'm in are at all-time highs. So it was a good move for me at that time to use the equity in my home to invest in other things. Some people use the equity in their home to make renovations in their home, to add more things. So you can use it for a variety of different reasons. But that's your money. You can do with it as you please. But there are smart ways and not so smart ways to use your equity. So just
right.
keep that.
Don't use your equity to go to Vegas. All right.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, so we talked a lot about rate cuts, federal rate cuts, but what is the current federal interest rate right now?
I
Do
think it's around 5.33 to 5.5. I
Okay.
know when I was looking it up, that's what I was seeing.
Wow. Okay. So 5.3 to 5.5. And then next year, how many? Because it's not going to be all at one time, right? The Fed isn't just going to come and cut interest rates for the
Right.
year. So how does that? What does that look like? So it's incremental, right?
Yeah, so basically they ease into it. So they're thinking that it will happen each quarter, starting with the second quarter. I'm not
So
sure of the exact month. I'm sorry.
like March time
Right
frame.
around March, April, something in that time frame.
Sure.
They're saying around 3 to 6 rate cuts in 2024.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Three
So
to Go ahead.
yeah, so there's big opportunity
Yeah.
basically because now we can borrow money for uh at a less expensive rate. You see what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And we can do what we need to do as investors to make more money.
Right. Right. What I hope is that people just take these opportunities and like actually make moves. Like I want them to do something with it because we've seen opportunities where we've missed, right?
Yeah.
But we've also, capitalized on a lot of opportunities. What what I want people to do, especially people in our community, is to just one recognize these opportunities as opportunities, right? Kind of shift their focus from things that are less important to things that are more important, like in essence, like their future, their lives, right? Their livelihood. Because all this stuff is affecting them, regardless of if they pay attention to it or not. It's still gonna affect them. So
Man,
I'm hoping that people pay attention, like wake up, don't get left behind in 2024, and just don't continue to sit on the sidelines. Like just I hope that as people watch this video, they are literally researching these things on their own and saying, "Oh, okay, this is what it means. This is how I can, change my finances. This is how I can benefit from interest rates going down. Now that I know this knowledge, what steps am I going to take to capitalize on this situation that's happening? You can get ahead of the curve right now. Don't be one of those people that November 2024 came and saying, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. Like the information is out there. It's on all the internet, www.whatever.com, the research, it's all there. People just have to take action and execute.
Man, you just said something really big, and I think the thing is, people are living for the weekend, man. So they're not planning for what's to come, like the future. They don't have like this ultimate goal that they're trying to, and they might. It just might not be financial.
Yeah.
Okay, so they
Yeah.
might be trying to be like the best rapper alive or
Mhm.
the best dancer or something like that. But a lot of people don't realize no matter what you're trying to do, finance is going to be important.
It's gonna be important.
It
It's not-
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much you make, how much you don't make. It doesn't matter what occupation you want to be. Finance is important.
yes. Yes.
And if you understand finances, it can only improve your position.
Hmm. Exactly.
So delayed gratification is a thing. And yeah, it's not the sexiest thing,
Right.
but it's
It's not
important.
it's not the shiniest thing. It's not the thing that everyone wants, but it can grow you so much. Like it can help you out so much by you choosing to not grab this thing that's in front of you and say, "This is what I want now." That means you're letting go of all the opportunity in the future. Like if you could just hold off on that. Let's just say a year, right? This 1 year where you just ignore instant gratification and you look for that delayed gratification. Like that will literally change your life drastically. And this is one of those years where it can do that because of the rates being cut next year.
and and what people don't realize is the urgency of it. So every year that you look at one of our videos and we're talking about, hey, you start investing, you're like, next year. You don't realize you're missing out
Hmm.
on the compound interest. You're setting yourself back thousands, tens of thousands of dollars for every year that you wait.
Yeah.
So I just want you to realize that the longer you wait, the less successful you're gonna be.
Yeah.
It's as
That
simple as that.
that opportunity is gone. Like that time is not coming back. The compound interest that you could have made is no longer there. It'll forever be gone. So, like Cornell said, the longer you wait, the longer you contemplate on deciding on whether or not you want to start investing, the longer you are afraid of investing, the longer you're worried about losing your money or just acting out of fear or ignorance or whatever the case may be. That's just really every moment. I don't want to go down to every second, but like almost every day, like that's interest that's gone. After a day passes, gone. But yeah, when you're talking about a year, that is a year's worth of interest that you could have capitalized on, gained dollar cost average. And it doesn't even have to be, I mean, we talk about how easy it is to invest all the time. It does not have to be a significant amount. You can do $25 a paycheck, $50 a paycheck, $100 a month. It can be minute, like small things that you would probably end up, if, depending on who you are, you would go to the club and buy 3 drinks and end up spending $75 out here in LA.
Oh my god,
No, I'm
dog.
telling you, bro. Drinks in LA cost about $18 a piece, bro.
That's crazy.
I'm telling
And
you.
and the thing is, you can't make this stuff up. Like this
Yeah,
isn't high school where you're like, oh, can I get some extra credit to bring up my grade?
it's
No.
over.
Like it's over with. Especially like if you're looking into like a Roth IRA, you can only make a certain amount of contributions each year. Yeah,
Yeah,
those contributions can go up, but you can't go back to the previous years and fill in your
right,
retirement. It's
right,
just you just missed out.
right,
You
right.
missed out.
Yeah. And I will, but not to just sound so you missed out, it's too late. It's not what we're saying at all. What we're saying is that has happened, but now is the time to do something so that you don't miss out any further, right?
Right.
There are still
Right.
tons of opportunity. There is still time for you to change whatever financial situation you might be in. And if it doesn't even have to be a bad situation, it could just be a situation where you want to continue to grow more. You could probably be working a decent job making decent money, but you could be working a decent job making great money outside of the job, so you aren't just subject
Mhm.
to that one income. You can increase the amount of money you make every month exponentially if you were to take a little bit of that 9 to 5 money and put it into something that can grow itself, literally grow itself.
Man, I saw a quote and it
Mhm.
said, if you only have one source of income, you're one source away from being broke. Like if you were to get fired, like
Oh,
you have no income. It's over with. You see what I'm
mhm,
saying? Now you have to find something else. You're not making any money for that period of time. And the thing is, with your money, you can invest it in all different things. You can have a bunch of different jobs that you're not working physically. You
right,
see what I'm saying? Like your money can be working in real estate. Your money can be working in stocks. It could be working in a automated business. You see what I'm
right.
saying? So your money can't get tired. You can
Hmm.
stop letting your money just sit on this on the couch, not doing
Yeah.
anything, just watching TV. Like
that
stop,
that
man.
that mattress money, man,
That
literally doing
mattress,
nothing.
what it is,
Yeah.
mattress.
And that's something else that I also want to, I guess, understand or kind of wrap my head around is what is it? And I know we talk about this a lot too. What is it that makes people not want to put money into things like securities or put things into like banks or get interest rate or get returns on interest rates? What is it that prevents people from even taking that step? Is it fear? Is it a lack of knowledge? I know we talked about this before,
I
but I
think
go ahead.
I think it's both. I think it's fear of
Mm,
the unknown because things that are new are scary,
yeah.
especially because it's not something that's talked about in everyday life. It, we hear about it a lot because of the groups that we're in and the networks that we have. You see what I'm saying? But some people are not in those types of groups because that's not what they're privy to, and that's not what the environment that they grew up in.
Mhm.
Because I know the environment that I grew up in was not about no one talked about this stuff. Even though I had people in my life that knew about it, it wasn't talked about. So we got lucky because somebody came into our life that was already doing it and they showed us the success that they had in it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody didn't have that. And I hate to say lucky, but we were just at the right place at the right time and we had the right mindset in order to take on that task of starting to invest.
Mhm. Yeah. I define luck as, and a lot of people, preparation, when preparation and opportunity meet each other.
Yeah.
Because we both happened to be in school. We were able to take out we were able to use the money from that to start our investment journey.
This was before that. Remember, well, I know you were getting your master's a year before me, so maybe
Yeah.
you were in that position.
Yeah.
But before I got into my master's program, I started when I got into an accident. And
Mm.
um basically the accident was not my fault. So they gave me a choice of pocketing $2,000 or getting my car fixed.
I remember that. You look like
Yeah.
you had that
So
busted door for a minute, bro.
So my thing was, man, this is cosmetic. I don't have to
I
open that door.
remember that.
That door doesn't have to open.
I remember that.
So I took that $2,000 and I
Yeah.
started off my raw.
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
started to put $2,000 in it, and that's where I got my lump sum of money. It doesn't sound like a lot, but I bet you that $2,000 today
Yeah.
looks a lot better
Facts.
because that was like 8, 9 years ago.
Hmm.
I want to say I want to say that was my first year being a teacher.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, because we both started. Well, I started, school the first time I was a teacher. So yeah, same time, like 2013, 2014, 2014,
2015.
15. I
Mhm.
did start my grad program in 2015. So
Yep.
2015.
Yeah.
Wow. And next year is 2024. Bruh.
Bro, you're old, bro.
I'm old.
That's crazy.
Wow.
But nah,
Yeah.
definitely highly favored, man. I wouldn't change anything.
Yep.
It's the small things too. Like yesterday, I was having car trouble, man. Like there were no signs of my car doing this. I went into a establishment, came out, my battery was completely dead.
That's wild.
You see what I'm saying? And just having the resources and just the support to be able to like smile about it and laugh, like go get a drink while somebody pulls up and fix it. Like just being in a situation where things like that don't ruin my whole holiday. You see what I'm saying? Whereas some people, you know, they're not in that position. So it's a blessing, man. So I really the way things have gone, I wouldn't have it any other way. And I hope that people look at what we're doing and what we're teaching and are able to get into that same type of position. If you are in that type of position, better your position to get in. Yeah. I just hope that we can do the same for everybody else that somebody else has done for us in our lives. So
Yeah. And I'll even, you know, I'll comment on that because another person would have seen that as an emergency. My battery is dead. Dang, I don't know how I'm gonna get this fixed because I got to do this and do this and do this. But the way you've planned out your present from the past, how you planned out your future, which is now, the way you planned that out from before is allows you to, like you said, smile about those things, not let that dread you because at the end of the day, a battery it's inconvenient, but if it gets
very
to where you having a battery issue isn't like an actual emergency, yeah, that's when you kind of need to look at your funds and say what is it that I'm doing or how do I need to change this to where things like this don't affect me so greatly, right? Like things like, oh man, I busted my tires, now I got to get four new ones. It's unfortunate, it's inconvenient, but you're able to do it,
yeah,
right? It won't break your bank. It won't alter any plans that you have coming up. So yeah, it's good to be in those type of positions, but it's only because you prepared for that, right? The things you put in place, the amount of money you saved, the amount of money you invested, and that's again what we're trying to get people to grasp, right? That delayed gratification, which you experienced yesterday, the delight of saying my car is messed. I mean, my car battery is dead. All right, cool. We'll get a new one. In the meantime, let's go hang out. That's delayed gratification.
yeah,
All right, seriously.
yeah.
So yeah,
It
but
it wa it
go
was a
ahead.
good feeling, and after all of it was like peace of mind. Money is peace of mind. Like that
Yeah,
freedom to do things like that is peace of mind. Because had yeah, y'all understand.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Look,
could have been so much worse.
it could have been worse, man. But we say all this to say, next year is going to be an exciting year. There's going to be a lot happening with finances next year. Um, what we talked about in this whole episode was federal rate cuts. So what we ask is that you all, gain a little bit more knowledge on what that actually means, how it can affect you, how it's going to, not how it's going to affect you, and what you can do to take advantage of this opportunity that's about to be in our faces. Because the federal rate cuts affect what a lot of people are trying to do, become first time home buyers, um, take out loans so that they can pay down their credit cards. It'll decrease their credit card interest rate. Like it is going to change a lot of things. So just wrapping your head around what it all means, when it's starting, and how to get ahead of the curve is what we want to explain. And we hope that you all can get from this episode. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. Man, I think we hit it all. What you think?
I think so. Also, can you tell them where they can find us?
Oh, yeah. 100%. So, Investors Playbook, you can find us on Instagram at Investors Playbook LLC. You can find us on YouTube, Investors Playbook. You can find us on Amazon, searching Deshawn Edwards or Cornell Rowan. Investors Playbook, a 6-step process to financial freedom. We got an ebook, we got an audio book, we have a physical book. Audio book is coming out soon. It should be top of the year. All right, top of
Should be.
2024. Top of
Yeah,
2024. You
we
know
gonna call it, man. There's a lot of formatting that we had to go through. And just to
me.
clarify, just one thing I don't want to pass by. The Instagram and the YouTube are Investors Playbook LLC. So it's the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, my bad. Investors Playbook LLC on all platforms, really. Instagram, YouTube. We are also on, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, where you're probably listening to this episode right now. So yeah, if you are listening, if you like our content, please share our content. Like, subscribe,
Five
that whole
star.
5-star rating. Let us
Sure.
know. Let us know what say what you would like to hear next. Go ahead.
And also check out our website, investorsplaybookllc.com. So subscribe to our newsletter. We have some things coming up that we're excited about.
Mm,
And we'll have some news coming out for you all soon.
yeah.
Yeah, check us out, stay in the loop, and also join our community.
Yes.
Mighty Networks. Get in the game.
You go. Get off the sidelines, get in the game. All right, man. Well, look, great episode. Episode 17. We got one more for y'all for the year. All
One
right.
more.
But
We love y'all. Appreciate the support.
definitely appreciate it. Peace out.
Peace.